Stefan Hager, Switzerland. Today we are going to read from the last two chapters of Mark's Gospel. Chapter 15, the last few verses, and chapter 16. And the story is about Jesus' burial and his resurrection. So it's very interesting to see that this Bible says in the Old Testament by the prophets that Jesus, the Messiah, would not see decay. The Messiah would not see decay, the body. He would be transformed into an eternal spiritual body. That's very interesting. And it's interesting to read that together, how it happened. That's why the burial and the resurrection I read together. John Mark's Gospel. Let's see what it says in verse 42. It was the day before the Sabbath, just like today is Good Friday. Good Friday, the 3rd April 33, 3 o'clock, Jesus, the Son of God, died, passed away. A few hours later, this happened. It was the day, the preparation day. Evening approached. Joseph, he went boldly to Pilate, and he asked for Jesus' body. Joseph was from the town of Arimathea. He was a leading member of the Jewish council. He was waiting for God's kingdom. Verse 44. Pilate was surprised to hear that Jesus was already dead. Why was he surprised? Usually it can take up to 24 hours or up to several days for someone to die on the cross. But here we see that Jesus was already tortured and whipped, and he suffered. He carried the cross. So within 3, 4, 5 hours, Jesus on the cross was dead. So he then called for the Roman commander. He asked the Roman commander to confirm that Jesus was really dead. He asked him if Jesus had already died. The Roman commander said it was true. So Pilate gave the body to Joseph. Joseph then brought some linen cloth. He took the body down and he wrapped it in linen. He put it in a tomb cut out of rock. Then he rolled a stone against the entrance of the tomb. Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Joseph, so where Jesus' body had been placed. So we see that two women saw the burial place, the grave, the tomb. Whereas two of them and two more were at the cross. They saw that Jesus actually died. And now we read on chapter 16. Early morning, 3 of them, including those mentioned right now and Salome, so went to see the grave. How this happened? That's the next morning, because on Sabbath, nobody would work, nobody would do the proper burial. So it was late and they could not complete to bomb the body as per Jewish customs. So Sabbath, they couldn't do it, so they went after Sabbath, Sunday morning. Sabbath ended, verse 1. Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome, they brought spices. They were going to apply them to Jesus' body. That's what I mentioned according to Jewish customs. Very early on in the first day of the week, they were on their way to the tomb. It was just after sunrise. They asked each other, "Who will roll the stone away from the entrance to the tomb?" Then they looked up and they saw that the stone had already been rolled away. The stone was very large. Verse 5. They entered the tomb. As they did, they saw a young man dressed in a white robe. He was sitting on the right side. They were alarmed. Don't be alarmed, he said. You are looking for Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified, but he has risen. He is not here. See the place where they had put him. Go, tell his disciples and Peter, he is gone ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him. It will be just as he told you. Verse 8, that's what we read today up to verse 8. The women were shaking and confused. They went and they ran away from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid.